Have you ever seen this terribly sad painting? It's called The Unequal Marriage. Unequal Marriage is a painting by Russian artist Vasili Pukirev, created in 1862. The medium used is oil paint. This artwork was produced in the era of realism.
Let's associate this artwork with elements and principle of art.
As we can see, the artist chose dull and dark colors with barely any lighting. This dark setting, along with muted, dull shades of brown, gray, and black, truly adds the effect of lifeless ceremony. This artwork was painted on a canvas, so it is a two-dimensional art. The artist made the artwork into a three-dimensional art characterized by naturalism and the full expression of human emotion through the innovative use of light and shade and the placement of figures so as to create depth and realistic-looking individuals.
Vasili Pukirev created an emphasis between the bride and the groom with other people. The emphasis in this painting was attained through the placing of the bride and the contrast between light and dark values. This artwork has the right scale and proportion. The relationship between size of the objects and human body is significant. The groom also stands tall in the middle of the canvas, dividing the painting into two halves. That is the principle of balance that can be seen in this artwork.
The unequal marriage painting symbolizes the inequality that women receive in a married relationship, hence the name unequal marriage. Based on the look at the bride's expression, we can clearly see that she is not willing to enter this marriage. It is most likely that she was not given the option to choose her husband. That choice was probably made for her by her family. This painting also shows a sacrifice made by the bride for the sake of her family and herself. It was the only way to survive in the patriarchal system at the moment. In the 18th century was a tumultuous time for a woman. Women from this era did not have the same rights as men. Although they are allowed to work, they wouldn't earn equal wages as men, couldn't pursue the career of their dreams, and they couldn't even go to university to pursue higher education. The bride does not have any other option than to marry a wealthy man to secure the well-being of her and her family's future. Pukirev also has added more interesting subjects other than the bride to the painting that make the story even more interesting. The first person standing right behind the bride with his hand folded, that man is Pukirev, the artist himself. He clearly does not look happy about his marriage. There have been multiple accounts of the story for the reason he inserted himself into the painting. The most detailed one says that Pukirev's friend was supposed to be there where the artist is standing. He was in love with the bride, but she was married to this rich guy. The bride also loved him, but they could never be together. Hearing this story, Pukirev decided to paint this painting. But when his friend saw the painting and found himself standing there, he was offended to the point that he asked Pukirev to remove him, so the artist added a beard and a mustache and placed himself in his friend's place. The groom seems entirely composed of angles and straight lines, unlike the soft, angelic bride. He symbolizes fading, mortification, the atmospheres in which of the maiden beauty of the bride is to fade. He is wearing an expensive suit and has an unnatural straight posture, which is supported by a tight corset. His head barely turns, neck squeezed by a high collar, and his dull eyes haughtily look at the bride. The Order of Saint Vladimir, a reward for continuous civil and military service, can also be seen on the groom's tuxedo. So he must be a highly respected man. However, his awards are clearly inappropriate for a wedding. The groom tries to look at the bride from the height of his general's range. There's a figure of mysterious old lady behind the groom can be seen inside the painting. The lady is wearing what appears to be a white wedding dress. There are several theories to who this woman is. Most likely, they are the ex-wife of the groom himself. It is not clear whether she had died a natural death or whether he wore them up to remarry a young girl. There are other speculation that this lady is the bride herself, looking at her past wedding day with anger and regrets towards the groom.